Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be assembling this Boho Teacher 3D letter. The letter we're going to be working on today is the letter C for Claudia, and I'll be using my beacon glue to glue all of the tabs on the letter. I'll list all of the tools that I'm using in the description box below, but that tool that you see me using to press down the tab is called a bone folder tool, and it's actually part of a kit that I bought on Amazon for rolling flowers. You can use whatever you like, your finger, a wooden dowel, a pen, whatever you feel comfortable using. That was just the closest thing to me, and honestly, I actually really like using that tool now. As I assemble my 3D letter, I'm actually going to do something a little different and do a little storytelling. I asked on Instagram if you guys thought it would be a great idea to do storytelling on one of my videos, and I gave 3 different scenarios as an option, and one of them was really popular. One of the stories is actually very embarrassing, but I thought it'd be fun and allow you guys to get to know me a little bit better. What's funny is that all 3 options kind of lead into each other, and so I'll give you all the options that I mentioned on Instagram, and one of them was for storytelling. Would you like for me to tell you how I met my husband? Would you like for me to tell you a breakup story? Or would you like to know the story about when I flew off the stairs at a bar in Europe? So back in 2013 or 14, honestly, I can't even remember my time frame anymore, but I pretty much went through a pretty bad breakup. I was in a relationship for 5 years. I was living in Las Vegas and moved back to California to live with my mom and rebuild. I started back from zero, from scratch, got a new job, went back to school, repaired my credit, got my finances in order, and I was honestly living the single life, but very much still hurt and trying to heal. I completely wrote off guys and dating because, again, I was so hurt, but one of my friends actually tried to introduce me to one of her friends, and I kept pushing it off and saying, no, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. She was very patient, but she definitely kept him in mind, and when there was an opportunity, she would bring him up, and I just was not ready. Fast forward to the end of the year in December, we went to her birthday dinner, and there was this gorgeous man at the end of the table trying to get my attention, and we hit it off. I slid into his DMs a few days later, and we just started talking. Then on December 25th, we actually met up for some coffee and had a great conversation. And then a few days later, I flew out to Europe with 12 complete strangers. There was a professor at the college that I went to that was involved with an organization that would rally up people to vacation in different countries, and it was very much a road trip type of style of vacation. We didn't spend very much time in these countries. Pretty much, for example, we landed in Switzerland and spent a day and a half there. Then we flew out to Rome, and we went to Italy, we stayed in Florence, and we went to visit the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We, you name it, we went all over the place, and we didn't spend much time. For example, in Florence, I believe we were only there for 2 days, but it was literally the best time I ever had. I was single, and I was pretty much on this trip to find myself. I was very much doing something out of my comfort zone. I didn't know anyone. I was bunking with people that I didn't know, and I just made these memories of myself alone, reflecting and enjoying all the good food and wine. And I met so many people there, and it was just the best time. I want to back up real quick and just say that I flew out to Switzerland on December 28th, and honestly, it is the most gorgeous place I've ever been to. It felt like a fairy tale. It was freezing cold. There was snow everywhere, but Switzerland is so luxurious. I don't even know how to explain it. It's so gorgeous. And I had the best time there. The food was so delicious. Like, I can still savor this mashed potato and sausage with onions, and I don't even know what else was on it, but it was so delicious. I don't even know what it was called, but literally the best time there. I also want to say real quick that Boho Rainbow wallpaper is actually from Creative Fabrica, and I was able to get a few files from this download of Boho Rainbow. And honestly, if you haven't checked out Creative Fabrica, there's a link in my bio. I will link it in the description box below. You can try it out for $1. Seriously, I've been living under a rock. I keep saying that, but literally I have, because it's just the best place for fonts, for graphics, for wallpaper, and I absolutely love it. So back to my story. I knew that I was going to spend New Year's Eve in Europe, and I wanted to have the best time. And so we had actually traveled to this small town. I honestly can't even remember the name. I think it's like Trevelli or Trevoli. It's a college town, and we were staying there for 2 days. And for New Year's Eve, the group had decided that we were going to go to this parade type of deal. Not a parade, it was like a carnival style. I don't even know. They had a bunch of music, drinks, food. It was the best time. There were families, there were a lot of young people there. And let me tell you, although, yes, it seems like Europe is not fond of Americans, but when you go out to a bar, or if there's any drinking involved, they love American girls. Like, it was the best time. Everyone was just very friendly and a great time. The music was flowing, the drinks were flowing, and we had ended up at this bar, and we were outside. Given it was like freezing cold, and so because it was freezing, we actually ended up inside. A few of us ended up inside, and I'm so grateful. There were 2 girls there that weren't drinking, and the rest of the group was. So they were pretty much, they had an eye on us, but, we were all having a good time. And for me, again, I didn't drink much. I actually had wrote off alcohol for the longest time. I honestly, if I did have a drink, it would only be like 1, maybe 2, but I rarely, even now, I still don't really drink, and I definitely don't take shots. But for this trip, I did have a couple of drinks, and I ended up having to go to the restroom, so I made my way up to the bathroom. It was on the top floor, and the stairs were very narrow. This place was crowded. It was like popping. It was so much fun. The music was loud, and I ended up going upstairs to the restroom, and then I saw 2 people that we had met there. Apparently they were Italian, and I was talking to them like in this very thin, narrow hallway, and I started to make my way down. When I tell you that the alcohol hit me on my way down, it hit me like a pound of bricks. And what was funny was that the table that we were sitting at was directly across from the stairs, like maybe 10 steps away from the stairs. And so as I was coming down, I locked eyes with one of the girls that was from my group, and I swear I was like about 6 or 8 steps away from the floor, and I just lost it. I literally slipped, and just envision me down the stairs. And you guys, when I tell you that it felt like the music stopped and everyone stopped to turn around and look at me as I was pretty much on like the 2nd step of the stairs, it was the most embarrassing thing I have ever been through. And right away, like, the 2 people that were behind me that I had met, like, helped me up, and it was just, I was laughing so hard and trying to play it off. But seriously, there's like no way from hiding from that. Like, everyone knew that it was me. Everyone in my group saw that it was me, and I was so embarrassed because the next day they were talking about it. And of course, like, I was hurting because I was, one, I'd fallen off the stairs, and two, I had a little too much to drink. So I was just like not in the mood, and I was the joke of the day the next day. And so it was so embarrassing, but regardless, like, now looking back on it and as I'm sharing this story, it's the funniest thing, and I can't wait till Olivia's old enough to share that story with her, and she'll know how much of a dummy mommy was. But it was just the best time being out there and getting to do things alone and meeting different people, and even sharing a little bit to, you know, one gal that I had met on the trip, and her sharing her experiences with me. It was honestly the most therapeutic trip I had ever been on, and I'm just so grateful that I got the opportunity to go. I'll go through my hard drive and try to look up some video and pictures to share with you guys on Instagram of my trip and show you specifically New Year's Eve. I got some pictures, and now that I'm talking about it, all the memories are coming back, and I know I have pictures of that day. So I'll go ahead and show you guys so you guys can take a look at them as well. And we were there, like I said, about 10 or 12 days. I can't remember. It seemed like a lifetime, honestly. It was the best time. And I was eager to get home. I'm not gonna lie, because I was so excited for this new relationship, and I wanted to just enjoy the new year and just see what life had for me. And to sum up the rest of the story with my husband, we dated all that new year, and he proposed to me on New Year's Eve, and we got married in 2016. So it definitely had a great ending. The heartache, my trip to Europe, and then getting married to my soulmate. I really hope you enjoyed the storytelling and getting to know me a little bit better. I'm gonna let the rest of the video play, and you can see how I decorate this super cute boho teacher 3D letter. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them down below in the comment box. And if you're not already subscribed to me, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.